Deals are often proposed in the boardroom, but they are secretly decided during the main course. If you cannot handle a fork with precision, how can you be trusted to handle a merger? Over the next 12 minutes, I will guide you through the protocol of the business dinner. I will teach you how to survive this gastronomic minefield and how to use the table as a stage for your absolute distinction. The philosophy, the gastronomic theater. To understand the French business dinner, you must understand that food is secondary. The primary purpose of the gathering is the observation of character. In the old money circles of Paris and Lyon, we believe that a man reveals his true nature when he eats. Does he rush? Does he treat the waiter with arrogance? Does he drink too much? Does he talk with his mouth full? These are not minor infractions. They are character flaws. You must approach the dinner with the mindset of a diplomat entering a foreign court. You are there to perform effortless elegance. The goal is to make your guests feel honored, relaxed, and completely charmed, while you remain vigilant, sober, and in control. This is the height of seductive humility, serving the comfort of others to secure your own power. Technique 1, the geography of power. The negotiation begins before the menu is even opened. It begins with the seating chart. In the sociology of power, where you sit dictates your status. If you are the guest, never rush to a chair. Stand by the table and wait for the host to gesture. This shows respect for their territory. If you are the host, you must direct the choreography. The seat of power is always facing the entry of the room or the best view. This is the position of the alpha. You offer this seat to your most important guest. By giving away the best view, you are displaying confidence. You do not need the view. You are the view. Be mindful of the zone of intimacy. In French business culture, we do not sit directly across from an adversary if we want to seduce them. We sit at a right angle or next to them. This reduces confrontation and encourages collaboration. Sitting face to face is for conflict. Sitting côte à côte is for alliance. Technique 2, the strategy of the menu. Ordering food in a high-stakes environment is a strategic act. You are not choosing what you want to eat. You are choosing what allows you to negotiate. There is a rule I teach my private clients: the prohibition of complexity. Never order anything that requires surgical attention. No spaghetti, no shellfish that must be peeled, no bone-in meats. Why? Because if you are fighting with a lobster claw, you cannot maintain eye contact. You look messy, primal, and distracted. Order simple, refined dishes that can be eaten with a fork and knife without looking down. A fillet of sole, a steak, a simple risotto. This allows you to focus 100% of your attention on the client. Regarding alcohol, the rule is the mirror. Never drink more than your client, but do not make them drink alone. If they order wine, you order wine. If you refuse, you make them feel like an alcoholic. You must mirror their vice to make them feel comfortable, but you must sip at half their speed. You remain the designated driver of the negotiation. Technique 3, the art of conversation. What do we talk about? In the US or UK, executives often jump straight to business. In France, this is considered vulgar. It suggests you are only interested in the transaction, not the relationship. The first 20 minutes, the apéritif and the entrée, must be dedicated to culture générale. We talk about history, art, travel, or gastronomy. This is where you prove you are one of us. You are demonstrating that you have a soul outside of the spreadsheet. Business is only introduced when the main course arrives, and even then, it is discussed delicately. It is fully dissected only at the cheese course, and there are 3 forbidden subjects, the unholy trinity of the dinner table: money, politics, and religion. Talking about money while eating is seen as dirty. Talking about politics creates division. Talking about religion creates barriers. Stick to neutral, elevated topics. Complement the choice of wine. Discuss the architecture of the city. Be boringly elegant rather than controversially interesting. Technique 4, the invisible bill. Nothing destroys the old money illusion faster than a squabble over the check. The sight of a credit card at a table is a reminder of the transactional nature of the evening. It breaks the spell. To be a true master of the protocol, you must execute the invisible bill. If you are the host, you must arrange to pay beforehand. Give your credit card to the maitre d' before your guests arrive. Tell him to add a 20% tip and never bring the receipt to the table. When the meal ends and the client asks for the bill, you simply smile and say, "It is already taken care of." This move is devastatingly powerful. It signals that money is such a trivial matter to you that it doesn't even require a transaction. It makes you look like a magician. You have provided a feast without ever showing the cost. This creates a debt of gratitude in the client's mind that is far more valuable than the price of the dinner. Conclusion: the ROI of manners. Some will say these rules are outdated. They are wrong. In a globalized world where everyone is informal, sloppy, and casual, the executive who masters the protocol of the business dinner stands out like a diamond in a pile of rocks. Your table manners are your silent resume. They tell the world that you are disciplined, educated, and respectful of tradition. These are the traits of a ruler. To master the specific vocabulary of the French menu, the correct use of cutlery, and the scripts for polite refusal of alcohol, I invite you to consult the full gastronomic guide in our Academy manual on Amazon. Congratulations on completing Lesson 8. You can now survive the feast. Subscribe to ensure you do not miss Lesson 9, where we will discuss the art of social climbing. I will see you soon in the elite.